On Global TV News Prime, Nigerian's First Lady inaugurates Young Farmers Club. Nigerian police force refutes claims of arresting people indiscriminately. In business, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority seals filling stations fine marketers. On the foreign scene, Bamako Airport closed as government attacked police base in Mali. In sports, Boniface Onyeka made Bangladesh Liga Team of the Week. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has announced the establishment of a disaster relief fund in Maiduguri, Borno State to assist Nigerian citizens impacted by floods and other disasters. The president announced this at the Borno Government House when he visited the state to sympathize with the government and people over the recent flooding from Alao Dam. Sharon J. has details.
President Bola Tinubu visited the Shehu of Borno in an internally displaced persons camp at the government secondary school in Maiduguri and had a drive-through of the areas affected by the disaster. President Tinubu, who urged the private sector to contribute to the fund, says the relief fund is expedient as the climate becomes more unpredictable and many places in the country are vulnerable to its vagaries.
People of Borno, Yobe, and other affected states, I say we will pull together a very good program for Nigeria to recover from this calamity and do better in the interest of our people. I've been thinking of how do we tackle this kind of a problem, whether it's climate change or any other means. But there must be a disaster relief fund.
At the palace, the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar El-Kanami, thanked the president for the honor of visiting the state after the vice president Kashim Shettima has earlier represented him. The Shehu of Borno urged the president to investigate the cause of the Alao Dam collapse and overflow into the town to prevent a recurrence.
Two is one. That is, to find out the root cause of this flooding and address appropriately so as to avoid future occurrence, as over 80% of this town has been affected by this disaster.
The governor of Borno State thanked the president for the visit and commended the prompt intervention of the federal government agencies, particularly NEMA, and the military's theater command in evacuating stranded victims.
The magnitude of the damage we have, as it has been said by His Royal Highness, the Shehu of Borno, we want you to look into the possibility of reconstructing this dam with new hydraulic structures that can handle natural flow of water.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who accompanied the president on the visit, says the National Assembly will collaborate with the executive to establish the fund. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has pledged his commitment to assist the National Identity Management Commission in establishing an efficient digital identity system. The Commission stated that the number of Nigerians with national identification number has increased to 110 million, indicative of a 2.39% increase from the 107.34 million that was recorded as of the end of May 2024. The president stressed that every Nigerian's unique proof of identity underscores their fundamental right to protection, sustenance, and support as recognized members of society, regardless of their location. Troops have neutralized 4 bandits and rescued 20 kidnapped persons during 2 operations in Birnin Gwari and Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. Samuel Aruwan, overseeing Commissioner of the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Kaduna State, stated that troops from Operation Forest Sanity conducted special clearance operation in Alawa, Birnin Gwari local government area. The troops reportedly spotted bandits' movements around Waga and, after a brief pursuit, neutralized the 2 bandits. They recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 3 magazines, 3 motorcycles, and 1 Beofeng radio. The Nigerian police force has refuted the narrative in the news of arresting people indiscriminately in Edo State. The force public relations officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi made this known while parading 14 suspects who are involved in various heinous crimes in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere has the details.
Addressing journalists in Abuja, the force public relations officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi explained that the arrest made in Edo State is in connection with the killings of the policemen within the vicinity of the airport in Benin City. He warns that the police will not condone any attack on its officers and men.
That for those that we have arrested, we don't know where they belong to. Whether they are businessmen, they are restaurant operators, or they belong to any political party. But we went after those who have killed our policeman. So for you to kill any policeman, you must have murdered peace, and you cannot enjoy peace again. The blood of those policemen will continue to haunt those who have killed them.
Some of the suspects paraded confessed to the crimes which they are alleged to have committed.
Have you decided to be stealing vehicles from your own kinsmen, your own people from Anambra State?
Size longer throat.
Pardon?
Longer throat.
Longer throat, not long throat.
Long throat, sir.
Or longer?
Long throat, sir.
He said it's longer throat.
I don't know, but because I was eager to make money and get
And to be a DJ.
Equipment for myself, I have been in my line of business for up to 15 years, and all this while I have been looking for ways to get money to get.
How much did you buy the DJ equipment?
I bought them for about 5 million.
Adejobi further calls on schools, churches, mosques, and recreational parks to collaborate with the Nigerian police force as the festive season approaches to fortify the area and ensure internal security.
It's becoming something worrisome, and that's why we all call on Nigerians to support security agencies to mop up these illicit harms from wrong hands. If you're in possession of something you don't value and you don't know the use, you may likely use it wrongly. And that's why they use these harms wrongly, the way it's not permitted under the law.
He also enjoined members of the public to be more security conscious while reiterating the commitment of the police force to remain steadfast in ensuring perpetrators of any crime to face the wrath of the law. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. Elder statesman and former Chief of Defense Staff, General Theophilus Danjuma, has tasked service chiefs to end banditry and return the country to the path of peace. Danjuma made this known at the Armed Forces Officers' Mess in Abuja during a book launch titled Big Boots, Lessons from My Military Service, authored by Solomon Udomwa, a retired Major General of the Nigerian Army. The retired top military officer who decried the ongoing abduction and killing said there are no excuses for the lingering insecurity ravaging the country, stressing that it has to stop. Wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off the inaugural ceremony of the first 240 members of the Young Farmers Club. The event, which took place in Abuja, marked the official launch of the club, which is an initiative aimed to engage young people early in agriculture, especially farmers. Queen Agaba has the details.
Speaking at the event, the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, says the club is a collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the Renewed Hope Initiative, designed to catch the youth early in the area of farming. She says with the club spread across various schools in Nigeria, it will create the understanding that farming is not just an occupation, but a way of life which can create employment opportunities for the teeming youth population and help diversify the economy.
We have tilled the land with our hands and hearts to the present, where agriculture continues to be a crucial part of our daily lives and economy. It is clear that farming is not just an occupation. It is a way of life which can create employment opportunities for our teeming young population, help diversify the economy, and put food on our tables. As I reminisce, I remember the groundnut pyramids and cotton plantations in the north, palm oil cultivation in the east, cocoa and rubber plantations in the west and the southern part of Nigeria. I believe all of these can be resuscitated and scaled up with modern techniques and mechanization.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says the initiative will enhance the interest of the young in agriculture as a career.
Through the Young Farmers Club, we are not only introducing agricultural education at an early age, but also instilling a sense of responsibility towards an environment. Today, we are nurturing a passion for farming among our youth, a passion that is crucial for ensuring the sustainability of our food supply for years to come.
The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, appealed to the youth to take the initiative seriously.
The Young Farmers Club is aimed at helping members to achieve the following objectives: to acquire better farming skills and practices, homemaking and rural community development, informal training in agriculture, improvement in social and recreational activities.
Inductees dressed in their club uniforms took the pledge administered by the minister and received their membership cards and farming tools from the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reported.
In a related development, elder statesman and business magnate Aminu Dantata has donated a sum of 1.5 billion naira to flood victims that ravaged some parts of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Dantata made the donation when he led a delegation from Kano to Government House Maiduguri to share their moments of grief. He extended his heartfelt condolences to Governor Babagana Zulum, the government and the people of the state, especially those who lost their loved ones to the flood. Similarly, the United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Fall, has announced a sum of $6 million from the Nigerian Humanitarian Fund to support flood victims in Borno State. Alao Dam, located just over 10 miles to the south of Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, collapsed on September 10th, compelling hundreds of thousands of people to flee from their homes. As part of efforts to alleviate poverty and improve the well-being of vulnerable population in Zamfara State, the wife of the governor, Hariya Dauda Lawal, has distributed cash and rice to 3,000 vulnerable people across the 19 emirates under the 14 local government areas of the state. Ogochukwu Mobono has the details.
The distributed items were collected as donations from the wealthy individuals in accordance with Islamic principles of zakat, which requires those who are financially able to give to the less privileged. The First Lady urged wealthy individuals in the state to contribute more to the Zakat and Endowment Board, emphasizing the importance of supporting the needy and promoting social equity.
It is very good to see the smiles and happiness you put on the people that you assist. So it is one of the things I like doing. I like putting smiles on their faces, and I would like to do it myself to make sure whatever is said to be given is delivered to the appropriate citizens. Well, you've said it all. We would like to call on the citizens of Zamfara, well-meaning citizens, to assist in giving charity, giving whatever assistance they can render to the Zakah and Endowment Board in order for us to have enough to assist around the state.
The Executive Secretary Zamfara State Zakat and Endowment Board, Habib Balarabe, says the charitable initiative is aimed at alleviating poverty and providing much-needed relief to vulnerable families, especially in the face of economic challenges.
The people who are needy in Talata Mafara Emirate, as you can see, the wife of the Executive Governor going around across the state distributing these items and 20,000 package to each beneficiary, which, you know, people are in hardship, they need help. So the wife of the Executive Governor decided to go around across the state to give these items as incentive to the people of Zamfara State, regardless of politics, whether you are PDP or APC or any other party. If you are needy, she asked the Zakat committee to put your name and go and give this food item to you.
It is expected that...
You see, anytime she come to Zamfara, we have to round up for the local government so that she will divide what our women, youth, and our elders are going to hold themselves. So today we are in Bakura. I think yesterday we are in Bakuyum, Anka, and Gumi. So now we are going to enter Bakura. Now we are in Bakura. We are going to Mafara and Bukuyum.
This effort, according to the Zamfara State People Democratic Party women leader Rabi Madawaki and the political advisor to Zamfara State Governor Yahaya Yari, reflects the First Lady's commitment to supporting vulnerable groups and enhancing social welfare in the state. The charity donations will go a long way in assisting the beneficiaries, offering them immediate support in their daily needs.
Muslims around the world are still celebrating Eid al-Mawlud, the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The celebration of Eid al-Mawlud is an opportunity for Muslims to reflect on the teachings and the life of the Prophet, as well as serve as a reminder of his role in guiding humanity towards righteousness and moral integrity. Queen Agaba shares highlights of the celebration at the Old Parade Ground, Abuja. Her report.
Speaking on the significance of Eid al-Mawlud, the Vice Chairman, Jamiat Ansaruddin Tijaniya, Jamilu Sabiu, says the celebration of Eid al-Mawlud holds deep religious and spiritual significance for Muslims because it is a time for reflecting on the values, teachings, and virtues that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, embodied, including humility, kindness, and devotion to God.
The significance of Maulid Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is to commemorate and celebrate the birthday of our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and it's a time for us as Muslims to rejoice and show our appreciation to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that has in his own mercy blessed us and gave us his most beloved servant, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as a mercy to the whole mankind.
The celebration followed lots of processions with religious recitations, prayers, sermons, songs, and colorful parades. The gathering that brought together all Muslim faithfuls did not just center around the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, but an avenue to call for peace, unity, and religious tolerance in the country. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Edo State People's Democratic Party governorship candidate Asio Ighodalo says the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, does not have the power to determine the next governor of the state. His statement was a response to Wike's claim that he told Governor Godwin Obaseki when he came with the PDP candidate that he would not back Ighodalo at the September 21st governorship poll in the state. Meanwhile, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uganga has urged Edo residents to vote for the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Asero Ighodalo, and his running mate, Omorodion Oge, in the upcoming gubernatorial election slated for Saturday, 27th September 21st. At Laris in Igara, La Pase, and Ibilo in the Akoko-Edo local government area of the state, Senator Akpoti-Uganga appealed to Ibira people and other tribes to support PDP to ensure continued dividend of democracy in the state. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has assured that the All Progressive Congress aspirants who contested the party's primaries for the local government election but failed to scale through will be refunded the money spent on purchase of forms. Uzodimma gave the assurance after attending Sunday Mass at the Government House Chapel in Owerri, the state's capital. Kike Lomo Okere tells us more.
The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma maintained that there is no going back on the date for the local government elections, insisting that September 21st, 2024 remains sacrosanct, pledging that only the funds spent on purchasing form from the party will be refunded, excluding expenses made without receipt, such as those spent on consultations.
I want to call on all our leaders to bear with me and make this sacrifice. All the people that apply as aspirants to run for either councillorship or chairmanship in the local government election who are not successful, their monies will be refunded tomorrow.
The governor also pleaded with leaders whose expectation may have been disappointed to bear with the party and make sacrifice for the sake of the party in particular and the state in general.
We want to use the opportunity of this local government election to push back government to the grassroots, to encourage participation of the grassroots, to see whether some of our leaders will consider going back home to operate from their homes.
Governor Hope Uzodimma further reassures the public that the election will proceed as scheduled, the Imo State Electoral Commission, on September 21st, 2024. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News. The Imo State
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthening cooperation with the People's Republic of China in key areas such as renewable energy, healthcare, and education. Sanwo-Olu made the pledge at the 75th anniversary celebration held at Lekki, Lagos. The governor, represented by his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, praised China as a valuable partner and friend whose cooperation had unlocked new potentials in the sub-Saharan region. Over now to Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has approved the appointment of individuals to serve as members of the Anambra State Civil Service Commission. In a statement issued by the governor's press secretary, Christian Aburime, Governor Soludo said the move is part of his administration's ongoing commitment to enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of the state's civil service system. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where News Prime returns. Bamako Airport closed as gunmen attack police base in Mali. Details of these and more after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of News Prime. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk, the Central Bank of Nigeria has confirmed that it will sustain its ways and means advances to the federal government at a 5% limit for the fiscal year 2024-2025. The latest development is contrary to the bill passed by the National Assembly, which raised the maximum borrowing percentage in the Act from 5% to 10%. This information is based on the Monetary, Credit, Foreign Trade and the Exchange Policy Guidelines for the fiscal year 2024-25 published by the Apex Bank on Tuesday. Following the agreement between the federal government and the Dangote refineries on the scale of PMS to NNPC Limited, Nigerian Employers Consultative Association has said the deal could signal the end of petrol scarcity and also lead to reduced pressure on forex demand. Speaking in Lagos, the Director General of the association, Adewale Smart Oyirinde, hailed the landmark pricing agreement that led to the lifting of petrol from the Dangote refinery. He stated that this singular event has the potential to change the mineral fuel scarcity situation in the country and also reduce the pressure on the naira. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has sealed filling stations and filed no fewer than 3 marketers for allegedly receiving stolen fuels following an operation conducted by the personnel of the Nigerian Customs Service in August 2024. The operations led to the interception of 7 petrol tanks, trucks, the sealing of 12 retail outlets, and the seizure of 466,000 liters of petrol and 25 vehicles. The Nigerian Customs Service noted that 7 suspects were prosecuted after an investigation into the matter. On our foreign decks, rescuers in Sierra Leone are continuing to search for the more survivors after a 7-story building collapsed in the capital, Freetown, killing at least 8 people. The West African country's National Disaster Management Agency said 6 people have been rescued from the rubble on the Shell New Road so far. But more people remain trapped, stating that some of those in the rubble have been able to communicate their locations to the rescuers. Gunmen have attacked a military police base in the Malian capital, Bamako, where gunfire and explosions have been heard and the airport closed down. Volleys of gunfire intercepted with explosions began at around 5 a.m. local time, and black smoke could be seen rising from an area near the airport. However, the suspects have not been formally identified. Hong Kong has experienced its hottest Mid-Autumn Festival since records began in 1984, with temperatures hitting 33.8 degrees Celsius. The Hong Kong Observatory warned that the weather is very hot and urged the public to take precautions such as drinking more water and avoiding vigorous outdoor activities. Russian Foreign Ministry says 2 Chinese Coast Guard ships arrived in Russia's Far East for a series of joint drills and patrols with Moscow's forces. The exercise, dubbed Pacific Patrol 2024, comes just a week after Chinese and Russian warships sailed through the Sea of Japan for a different drill, and as both countries ramp up military cooperation. Meanwhile, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, has announced a global ban on several Russian state media networks, accusing them of using deceptive tactics to carry out influence operations and evade detection on its platforms. Meta stated that after careful consideration, it has expanded its ongoing enforcement against Russia's state media outlets. The ban, which targets networks such as Rosli and RT, formerly Russian Today, is expected to take effect in the coming days. Maryland military says the number of people in the country who have died in the wake of Typhoon Yagi rose to more than 220, with nearly 80 others still missing. The storm spelled through northern Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and Myanmar in early September and has killed more than 500 people across the region so far, according to official figures. It triggered severe floods and mudslides in Myanmar, leaving at least 226 dead as whole villages were wrecked. A gunman hit for nearly 12 hours in bushes before Donald Trump played an unscheduled game of golf at his oceanfront club in Florida, leaving locals stunned at what authorities say appears to be the second attempt to assassinate the former president. It was hot and cloudy on Sunday afternoon when Trump and his good friend, real estate developer Steve Wilkoff, arrived on the course of Trump International Golf Club in the West Palm Beach. The former president was on the 5th fairway, an area adjacent to busy roads near Palm Beach International Airport, when a member of his protection detail spotted a rifle poking out of the foliage by the 6th hole. On sports now, Super Falcons midfielder Ngozi Okebi has announced the birth of her child. The former Eskilstuna of Sweden midfielder announced the arrival of her baby on Tuesday via social media. Nigerian stars Victor Boniface and Frank Onyeka has been included in the Bundesliga Team of the Week. The Bundesliga Beat 11 was compiled and published on the X handle. Boniface was stood out performance from Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen in the their 4-1 win away from Havershen. After setting up, Levinsken's first goal scored in the 17th minute. Boniface then made it to 2-0 in the 30th minute. Atalanta forward and 2024 Ballon d'Or nominee Ademola Lookman is looking forward to a new challenge as European League champions battle Arsenal in the first game of the remodified UEFA Champions League on Thursday. Gampero's side will host the Gunners at the Swiss Stadium on their return to the competition after a 2-year absence. Lookman and his teammates will head into the game on the back of a thrilling 3-2 win over Valentini in the Serie A, a game that saw the Nigerian score 1 goal and provide 1 assist on his first league appearance this season. As we end the Global News Prime, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. We brought to you that Nigeria's First Lady inaugurates Young Farmers Club. And then we said Nigerian police force refutes claim of arresting people indiscriminately. In business, we brought to you the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority seals filling stations, fine marketers. And on our foreign scene, Bamako Airport closed as gunmen attack police base in Mali. And finally on sports, we said Boniface Oyenka make Bundesliga team of the week. And that's it on News Prime. Came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms by using a Global TV NG and the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.